Okay, so this video is kind of going to talk about triggers in the shadow self, right? And the first time I turned on the camera and tried to do this, I was like, oh my goodness. But I hope you notice why I did the lighting like this, by the way. But anyways, so in the last video I tried to shoot doing this, I was just going on too many tangents and just getting too random. But also I gave an example of triggers. But it is very important that you get control of triggers. Let's say that. Whatever triggers you in life, there is something there that you need to understand. Because this, like I already said in another video, that this system is designed to keep you agitated and frustrated, right? Well, if there's anything that triggers you in life, there is a certain amount of control that this external entity or being has on you. But it's only an extension of your mind to help you learn deeper about yourself. So the trigger example I gave and then went too much on a tangent, but before I continue, I would like to say subscribe if you're enjoying, and I would like to say much love to you guys, and if you're doing the work or even understand this, much praise to you, because dealing with me is kind of like your mind's got to be out there. Shout out to one of my regulars during my live streams, Tesla. That man is a Swedish mad genius, but I feel like he's there. Anyways, back to what I'm saying about the shadow work. Shadow work and all of this, your shadow self, and where the answers lie. And triggers is one of the things that would trigger me as like earlier into my journey, and I've seen myself get some flashes of it recently, is when people misrepresent or misunderstand what conscious work is. And then with people throwing around the terms like spiritual and everyone getting confused what everything is, at least the people who are not up. Now, this is sometimes super triggering to me, because some people think like, people that are awake and stuff and awareness and some of this spirituality stuff is brainwashing. And what I will tell you is no, the innate basis of this, like I'm going to tell you, my trigger my ego would feel hurt. I'd be like, bro, like I'm doing the work. And I got hurt at a level that was of the work that I was putting in, because I felt like I was discovering truth. And I realized, everyone's truth is okay. Like all truths are half truths, because all roads lead to home. You just need to walk in your truth. So that's what I'm trying to tell you about spirituality. And that's why I would get so triggered by people at times. It's like, they'd be like, spirituality sounds like a cult and all this. Now I was like, yeah, there are some motherfuckers that turn it into a religion and a cult. And that's not supposed to be what conscious work or spiritual work is in general. It's not supposed to be a group. It's not supposed to be a community. It's supposed to be about your individual journey. Now, in the past and in these ancient worlds, they had it mastered to a degree where, yes, kings and queens and all that, but they had it mastered to a degree where they cultivated this in people and everyone was eating sort of mentality. But now you have it to where people are telling you, like, don't celebrate Christmas, Halloween, the history of all this stuff. And it's like, if you understand it and then still celebrate it or do it the way you would like to, that is your truth. And funny enough, I even caught my cousin she told me that she got caught in that mindset. And here's the thing, is like sometimes people misunderstand that I already lived for this. I'm way past that. And also I was never in that sort of mindset. So I realized that I still got triggered by people who think that this is like a cult mindset, because I'm grouping myself, because I didn't realize there was a deeper program within me that grouped myself with people who call themselves spiritual. And that's why I never even at the beginning said I was spiritual. I kind of would be like, yeah, I'm into spiritual stuff. Or I noticed that my quick reaction to things and natural reaction would be say that I'm into this stuff. But there's an example of my trigger. I was triggered because doing this work is incredibly trivial. You will know if you are on this path, because you set yourself aside from everything within this system, and you are among the top 1%. You're basically among the motherfuckers who are running the world, except you're not running the world. So there's a lot of stuff to go, but you are running your world, because this is also an extension of you. So technically you do run the world. That's a deeper thing. But my point is that none of this is mind control, because at the end of the day, you're basically on the quest to mind control yourself. If you're stuck on TikTok or you're stuck on apps like that, sorry to say that is brainwashing. It is brainwashing. But some people think this is brainwashing, and I'm like, no, your brain, yeah, well, in a way, actually, that's funny. Yeah, in a way, you're washing your brain from all these programs that you've been given, and you haven't programmed yourself. So you're being deprogrammed. So you are brainwashing. You're having a little, your brain's in the washer machine. But I used to get triggered at that because I was doing the work and actually walking it. And there's motherfuckers around here that also used to trigger me that don't do the work. But I broke all these things down and got to the root of why. And I got to the roots realizing like, holy shit, I was triggered by this because I put so much time in. But what is time anyways? And I realized that I had to understand where they were coming from, that they could be ignorant, they don't know, and not to be offended. And you know, and I really had to work through that. And I'm telling you, that's why I say this can never be brainwashing or a cult, because the point is to not be a group in this. There can be communities based around it, but to never get into the state where you feel like you have to be doing something right. Everything is within due time, and you will arrive to where you're meant to be within due time, within whatever your divine timing is. So that's, you know, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent there, but kind of staying in the same ballpark of this. That was my trigger. I would get triggered, and recently there was a situation where that happened again, where some people were like, or you know, someone close to me was kind of like, this kind of sounds like brainwashing. They had a conversation with someone where they said, yeah, it kind of felt like they were being brainwashed by their ex. And I was like, what the heck? Well, I'm not in the realm of doing that. I'm not brainwashing. I'm trying to, but then I had to realize, oh my God, that's not me. They're not talking to me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop taking things so personal. And I'm being this vulnerable with you because I usually don't let things affect me, but because I'm in this stage of my life with this mindset at 22, so I'm very fucking young with this shit, and I was up way before this, but I'm really starting to crystallize these ideas where it's like, holy shit, I get it now. But like, even when some people are saying subscribe, that was one of my things, and it would be so weird to me, but I realized the people you're telling to subscribe are the ones who are genuinely enjoying. Like, you're talking to different people. Like, some of the things that I say might not be for everyone, and that is very true. And I love my base of people, this family I have here that are on this channel, Lunar. You guys help build this, because you guys help me understand that you can't please everyone. And that's kind of the concept of this, is it's all like connecting. It all connects. But pretty much I had to realize that, oh, you're not talking to me. You're talking to the motherfuckers who are actually brainwashing with spirituality. Because I was like, all I do is be preaching fucking learn yourself, dumbass, learn yourself. And I had to get, oh my gosh, you're not talking to me. Like, I'm not the same. And I realized it's okay. Well, you know, these are different varying degrees of the same thing, so we're the same in certain things, but I'm not using it like I'm really speaking from the heart, as you need to learn yourself, because it's the most important thing here. And once you truly learn and master yourself, you can help others outside of yourself. Notifications trying to throw me off my game. See, distractions. Nah, but truly, yeah, it's, I want to switch would be like, you understand, or something cooler. You feel? You feeling me? What should we do? Comment below what I should say instead of like, because that's really why I say, my ideas just be continuing. I don't want to replace that with a word. I don't want to be the same as anyone. So I want to be like, let's see, you getting this? You picking up what I'm putting down? You picking it up? Yeah, you picking it up. Let's go. You picking it up? You picking it up? I like that. So you picking it up, and the true is, this is just so true. This is one of my triggers. I meant to go, you picking it up? Yeah, so we'll start now. You picking it up? So yeah, my whole point is that I was triggered by this, and I'm like, bro, because I'm doing the work, and some people don't understand how incredibly you used to literally be celebrated for just having a lick of, or showing signs of being conscious. You understand that? Like, you're conscious already, because consciousness is all, the universe is mental, everything is the mind. You're picking it up. Though the thing is that when we say like someone is conscious or you're seeing the world for like what it is. You put on the magical glasses, and this work is not easy. You really do lose friends, families, everyone. You're misunderstood by everyone. No one's got the manual to your being. Only you do. The remote is in your hands. Though I will say, if you're picking this up, I will say that there's just a lot to this. There's different levels, but we are the same. But there are definitely levels to this if you're picking up what I'm saying. And yeah, but that was my trigger, and I had to get to the root understanding that some people just it's okay for some people to believe this. It's okay for people to not understand it. And my spiritual ego in that sense was, I'm doing the work. What the fuck? And y'all are kicking it back. And it wasn't the work of the sense of I'm better than these people. But that was my trigger, and I had to work through that. And I realized that I'm even in the environment I am now. Amazing house by one of my brothers in the game, one of my soul brothers that I'm with right now, chilling, doing my things, really, really putting this energy out there. And he's providing me a space to do that. Where I remember when we were kids, he would be one of my biggest triggers. Like I said, like argue over everything. And I realize nowadays, I really am way different. Like things that he says now would have used to bothered me, but I realized I'm such in a different mental space that I just laugh at everything, and I'm able to punk myself. I'll be like, yeah, that is me, and I just laugh, because it's like that is consciousness, truly accepting yourself. So there's no brainwashing here. I wanted to throw a little bit of that because that is a big trigger for me. But you have to get to the root of why these things bother you. It could be anything. It could be like waiting in a store. It could just like, now I've been told that I should tell my things in stories, so I hope me telling that story about me truly helped you pick it up. You get me? Or maybe I'll just say you get me, but everyone says I'll be like, you get me. You get me? I'm gonna get people fucking trying to kill me. I gotta upload a video right now while I'm doing this video, but I'm gonna get into talking about Revolver really quickly, and I think Revolver is an amazing thing that'll help you sort of understand this journey. Revolver is fucking awesome. Revolver, the movie Revolver. But spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, please go see Revolver. But Revolver, he literally built up this ego where he felt like he had to be a tough guy, which you see a lot of people do. And he built up this ego to be a tough guy because he was scared. Shout out to Brother Panic, because I'm going to put the clip at the end of this video. And you have to understand, like, yeah, he was shook. He was scared. And he just, by the end of the movie, like Andre 3000, they're like all telling him like we're close to, like, oh my gosh. In the beginning, they kind of give it to you where he's in the jail cell, where he went to jail and he realized, like, yo, he was in prison next to a chess master and the greatest con man alive. And these motherfuckers, the greatest con man is his own mind. He said these motherfuckers never talked, but somehow they knew everything about each other. That is your mind. The thoughts that run through your head. And I love Revolver. I absolutely love that movie after I watch it. It's a fucking trip when you watch it. But that's the thing is, oh no, I said it, you get me. That's the thing. You get me. It's going to be hard to undo that program because I'm always saying, so I'm going to work on that. But yeah, the greatest comment in the chess master, and the chess masters, because this is you versus you versus your own mind. So by the end of the movie, he basically realizes, like, the enemy, he's using the enemy outside of himself to handle the enemy within, the true enemy. You are fighting yourself. You are in war with yourself. So what would have triggered him before didn't trigger him. He basically bitched himself to the guy at the end, which Brother Panic will explain in the clip. But that's basically what I've caught myself doing now, and I've done it in the past. But it's funny because now I'm more aware of me doing it. It's like, holy shit, I've naturally been in this alignment where it'll be those times where you almost like not kiss up. Remember, not kiss up, but almost like bow the head as the jester and make everyone laugh. And you trigger the person that is on the outside trying to offend you. You kind of laugh and they get triggered. And I was always like this. This is why I always called myself a trickster guy when I was younger, because me and my cousin just talked about this. We got people more triggered than they could get us. Always. always. We got people so mad, way more than, they would get us. But I have another trigger as a kid that I'll talk about in another video, that it is a trigger I had that's insane. Oh, shoot. Whoa, that was an illusion. Wow. I thought it was the time where I had to upload, but I don't yet. Oh, shoot. Wow. That's crazy. Maybe like I was setting that up for the future so I didn't forget. Who knows how all this works. But truly, it's insane. Like, it is truly insane. Like, I used to get people way more mad than they can get me, and it was only one person in my family, my brother from another mother, who I'm living with currently, that, yeah, like, the ability for him to trigger me was on 100. We would argue all the time, but it was so much fun. Like, we talked about the days on how it was so much fun. But there's still instances of then now from our childhood that'll come out of him, and I notice, and they don't bother me. I laugh. It's like just funny. It's just funny. Like, one of the one things now that I'm kind of seeing new to him is how he lives on his own and owns the house and everything. And what's really funny is the other night he had girls, like, well, he was having, little girlfriends come over and stuff like that, and I laughed because I'm completely fine with that. I don't know if it was stress at work or what was happening to him, but I understand him on that level where I say, hey, another game night, because they never do a game night where there's no drinks. And I just want to see them do a genuine game night. It's like a game to me. It's funny. So I say, oh, we got another game night. And for a minute, I really thought he tried to trigger me, because when I said that, he said, yup, we're gonna have drinks, bitches, and he said it and I laughed because I realized in that moment, maybe he was or maybe he wasn't. I'm not gonna take it personal, but I was just saying it because it's funny that they never do a game night. They never do a game night where there's no drinks. So I said in my head, I wonder if anyone realizes that you don't need spirits to have fun, but this shit has become a game to me because I understand it. I see the game, and I thought from that night when I sat on that, like, wow, was that a little bit of our childhood coming back out? Because I do remember when we were kids, we would both do deliberate things to get each other mad at sometimes. He wouldn't like me saying this. I'm gonna say him more than me, but because I like to keep to myself. I like my own energy, so it's funny seeing us as adults now, and it's like, yeah, it's just funny. I love that dude to death, man. It's insane. Nothing but good intent on both sides. And yeah, young gods, bro. But yeah, that's truthfully triggers. You have to understand that you cannot get triggered. And that's why I wanted to, I'm gonna be this dude, release a course on teaching people on how not to be triggered. Because the thing is the reason I would like to release the course is because that is like one of my master skills. I really do stay unreactive to a lot of stuff. Like, there's YouTube comments I replied to, and I talked about it in one of my videos, where somebody said, like, people will say some really rude stuff, and for me, and I don't want people to think I'm actually getting triggered at them. And I was like, I was affected a little bit because I'm just at this point where I truly don't understand sometimes how someone could be so mad at someone on the internet just doing what they like, or and like the person behind the computer screen. It's like this shit makes it so easy for people to not have a face and be like, oh, fuck you, die, and just like move on. It's crazy. And I'm like, what is in you to make you type that? But then I start thinking, damn, some of these accounts might not even be real. They're agents just to try to throw you off your game. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, I'm going to play the clip. Enjoy the clip. This is the end of the video. Much love and moonlight. Much shout out to respect to Brother Panic. I'm going to link his video down below so you can watch the full thing if you would like it. His lectures are long, 8 hours. He talks that sass. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Much love and moonlight. I love you guys. Peace.
Guys who are not in the shadow weren't traumatized. See, B.O.B., he doesn't have that. It takes a hell of a lot to get him mad, and he's never mad at the individual. Anybody can be mad. That's a natural emotion. But are you mad, then you come back from it, or do you walk around like I did with constant anger, constant reasons to be angry? And at night, you thinking everybody else is the asshole, but I absorbed it. And so, how was your day? Oh, that fucking Uber driver. Oh, this bitch in the bank. Oh, this nigga this. Now look at you say, how's your day? I go, that shit was fine. Because the anger is gone. And I realized a lot of that is because I moved out the ghetto. And now I'm going to show you why damn near every fucking hood movie, they're trying to move out the ghetto. Because if you leave the environment that you created, the shadow, or created the protective character that is the ghetto bastard, because you're still in the ghetto, or around the icons, even though I moved out the projects, all the iconery of my ghetto life was there. All the symbols, the bridge I can see every day, the smell, the sound. So the anger's not going anywhere. When I left here, it took a few years. People saying hi. What the fuck are you talking about? Then I started seeing niggas coming from New York still wearing Timberlands and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I get it. It's a character or a protection system that we created in an environment that is fucking hostile, son. Warlike and hostile. So B.O.B., who hasn't grew up in that hostility, I can't find that shit in them. Just courtesy. And if anybody else see it, that they're going to see that and put him on the top to be a pop star. But where they fucked up is he was conscious and that emerged. And you see how they started treating him after that. Because that's not what they're doing. They don't celebrate the nigga. They celebrate the wannabe. So you got to understand there's a line in the sand with this and what this is. And everyone has it. You will see that in the movie Revolver. So again, in the end, he said, use your enemy to deal with the real enemy, which is yourself. Andre 3000 and Big Pussy from Sopranos playing it. They didn't exist. They were all in the head of Jason Stamos, who played Crank. He's talking to him, and then Jason says something in his head. I don't feel like fucking with him. And then Andre 3000 answers him, and he's like, "How you answering me?" I said, "This is my head." He said, "You heard my voice so long in your head. He said you think it's your own." These guys didn't exist, so they told him how to relinquish the ego, give all his material shit away. He said, "You don't give it away because you're nice. You give it away because it hurts him." He's talking about your ego, and then he went to his perceived enemy, which was Ray Liotta, while he's in bed, kissed his feet, said, "You are the wisest. I made a mistake fucking with you. You the best. You the king. You the what?" He totally bitched himself to this guy and went down the elevator, which was symbolic of his fear throughout the movie, that he let the fear go and therefore was able to let his ego go. So the dude run down, he's half naked with a robe in his underwear, and he pulls the gun on Jason Stamos after the feet kissing, and he's telling him, "Fear me, fear me." Jason Stamos is not even making eye contact with him anymore, and it's comes from the saying, "The emperor has no clothes," meaning your ego believes it's the emperor, but it is dressed in no clothes. It is naked and ashamed. So because you are scared, naked and ashamed, you create this tough guy persona to protect what is sacred. So the hardest nigga in the street is actually the most traumatized nigga, obviously, in the street, and the most scared nigga in the street. So much so he created somebody that will do things to protect them that are ungodly. And then there's the guys who cannot control their dark side. Everybody in jail doing 25 to life who's telling you, "I couldn't see it. I couldn't stop myself, get outside of myself. Now I understand." Because if they're angry, see, they learn their anger in jail only gets their ass whipped by somebody else who's just as angry. So being angry doesn't pay off in jail. That's why everyone's so mellow and they understand now. Because they're in a place where everyone is angry. They're at the top tier of angriness. So them being angry doesn't serve them in jail. It only serves to get them more time, more tickets, longer stay, and definitely fucked up by mingling with other animals. So they just stopped being an animal and start evaluating. I couldn't control myself. It was suddenly, I'm no longer that guy anymore. That guy is gone. I don't see him anymore, because they really became someone else. And I'm gonna show you that's what these movies are all about. So now that we got that out the way,